Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mackenzie and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. And today I want to share with you the resources that I have for the Well-Educated Heart Rotation Month 5, which includes France, the American Revolution, Canada, Switzerland, and gardening slash I'm adding weather because last month was plants and trees and I feel like 2 months of plants is a little too much for us. So last month is plants and trees. We're doing a little bit of gardening and weather this month. So if you would like to stick around and hear what we are using for the Well-Educated Heart Month 5, which includes the books that I'm reading and some fun activities that I'm going to throw in on the side, stick around. We just did the US history rotation, so we are kind of skipping the US history part and going on to the other countries around the world. So I'm going to be sharing my resources that I have from those, and I'm going to be starting with France today. Some picture books that I have for France is Madeline, and this is just a fun one that I remember from when I was a kid, so I wanted to pick this up for my kids too. And then The Little Red Riding Hood is a French tale. So it's just a classic that everybody knows, but it's just one of those stories that you have to read in your childhood. And then a read aloud that I picked up is The Invention of Hugo Cabret. Did I say that right? I'm not sure. But this book is ginormous. And so when I first picked it up, I was like, oh my gosh, this is huge. But not all the pages have words, so that'll be good. There's lots of pictures, and then the pages that do have words, it's not overkill. This will be a fun one. I'm really excited. This one also has a movie called Hugo that this month we will also be watching the video when we're done with the book. So that would be fun. I always love to read stories that have a movie afterwards to kind of give you a different perspective on it. It's a fun celebration to do when you're done reading the book, so that'll be fun to do that. And then this is a book that I picked up and I'm really excited about it. The Story of Louis Pasteur. This is a person that we learned about in our Teach Me Health and Homeopathy curriculum. Since they already know a little bit about Louis Pasteur, I decided to pick this up since he's from France. And I think the kids will be excited to learn more about him. My kids, I know they're going to be excited to read this because of the different connections that they have heard him through different places. Some enrichment activities that we're going to add in this month is my brother went on a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to France. And so he has a lot of fun, really yummy French recipes to send me a recipe for a quiche. And we're gonna make quiche, we're gonna eat quiche. It's gonna be fun. And quiche I feel like is so good. Something else I wanna do, I heard this idea from someone, was watch on YouTube the Tour de France and then go for a bike ride. So just kind of more chill, but also just a really fun way to bring the Tour de France to life. We are also gonna watch the movie Ratatouille. I think that will be a really fun one to read or to watch with the kids when we're done learning about France. I also found this really cool craft online that I will link down below. It is like a stained glass Notre Dame craft, and so I think that'll be something really fun for the kids to do when we're done learning about France as well. I also found a link to a really cute fruit platter that was berries and bananas, but it was in the shape of the Eiffel Tower. So I think that'll be a fun snack to eat for lunch one day. And then I also want to watch The Hunchback of Notre Dame because I haven't seen that movie in forever. But I think that will be a fun one for my kids to watch, maybe the same day when we make the Notre Dame stained glass craft. Okay, moving on to Canada. I don't have a whole lot of Canadian resources, but I do have a few picture books and an exciting read aloud that we're going to get to. So our first book is Mary of Mile 18, and I've heard that this is a really good book. So I haven't read this before, but I picked it up because it does go along with Canada. And then I found Goodnight Anne, and this is supposed to be the Anne from Anne of Green Gables. And then of course our read aloud has to be Anne of Green Gables. We actually have not read this one before, and I'm really excited. I haven't read it myself. I'm excited to read the novel and read it to my kids. So my resources for Switzerland is also slim pickings, but I do have a few books here that I'm excited to open up and read with the kids. And one of them is The Legend of William Tell, and my daughter just read this story in her All About Reading curriculum, and so I think she'll be excited to read the full story in this book. And then I'm excited to read this one too, Moni the Goat Boy. This is by the same person that wrote Heidi. It'll be fun. It is a longer story, which will be good. It's not like a picture book. It's like a read aloud. It'll be fun. It's a short read aloud, but one that I think my kids will have a fun time listening to. We're gonna do this probably as we are doing like some coloring pages or some crafts. And then another book that I'm really excited to get to, I don't know if we'll be able to get to it this month because there's a lot going on this month. I always just grab all of my resources to show you, and I want to read it all, but I really only probably read one of the chapter books that I'm showing you for the whole month. I want to be able to show you all the resources I have. The last read aloud that I have for Switzerland is Swiss Family Robinson. I have never read this story, but I don't even know how the story goes, but I know it's a classic, and so I know it'll be good. Let me know down below if this is not one that I should be reading to young children. I am planning on reading this to my kids at some point. Hopefully we can get to it. I highly doubt it because we're going to be reading the story of Louis Pasteur this month. My only gardening resource that I picked up was Gardening for Kids. This is a parent guide. So you're going to be reading this, and then it's going to teach you how to teach your kids how to garden. And it is a chapter book. And they just have these different chapters that teach you how to get your kids excited about gardening and easy, simple ways to have your children help you in the garden. So I think this will be a fun one. Okay, onto my science/weather books. I have had this book for a long time in our house, and my kids really like this one, my younger kids. They always gravitate towards this book, and it's just about seasons and about weather, and it's got nice pictures. So this is probably one that we're going to open up and read all together. And this one's just fun because it is about tornadoes and all different kinds of weather. Got extreme weather in here, which I think kids are just always fascinated about. Avalanches, hurricanes, floods. So it's like the natural disasters part of weather. And then I had to get one on tornadoes. I feel like all kids are intrigued by tornadoes, but I think it will be fun to go over like how tornadoes are formed and where they show up in the United States and things like that. So we're gonna be reading tornadoes. And then I also got this storms and hurricanes book, and this came in the scientific pack from Usborne, and I will link that down below as well so you guys can check that out because this kit has all sorts of cool science books. They have like volcanoes and space and earth and everything. So this has been a fun kit to have, but we're gonna pull this out and read about hurricanes and storms probably the same day that we're reading about tornadoes and landforms and weather. Hopefully they don't get nightmares. I used to have nightmares as a kid about tornadoes. They scared me to death. My brother was obsessed with tornadoes and watched Twister. Yeah, ever since then I've been scarred from tornadoes. So this book is one that we were gifted, and it is a story, and it's just a good story. I love stories that are just written well and that you can connect to, and I feel like every little kid can connect with this book. And then I also picked up the little kids first big book of weather. It's just really fun to look at, really fun to read. So, but this is probably more early elementary, and since that one is early elementary, I found this one, Everything Weather, that is kind of more upper elementary, for my older two daughters to look at and to really understand how weather works beyond the water cycle, just kind of diving a little bit deeper into weather. So that's why I picked up this one. National Geographic has really good kids books. And then I decided to pick up a meteorology activity book, and I didn't know this was going to be consumable, but it is, which will be kind of fun. You can do some lessons out of this. I have multiple kids, so now I'm gonna have to go get a couple more probably, but warning, does teach about climate change, so just keep that in mind. That's the thing about teaching weather, right? You have to be aware of agendas. And I also found this really fun game. I haven't purchased it yet, but it is on my wish list to get on Amazon, and it looks really fun. Here's a picture of it. It is called Sunny and Stormy Days, and I think this will be fun. It has multiple different activities in it, a sharing game, and it also has a picture book, which is really cool. So I like that it has a book in there and other fun activities that have to do with weather. We're also going to do a few experiments this month that have to do with weather. One is a cloud in a jar, which is, I feel like, a little bit older elementary level. requires a little bit more understanding to know what's going on. We're also going to be doing a storm in a jar and the weather or the water cycle in a bag. So the links to those experiments will be down in the description box below, so go check those out. And thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you later.